Hello, SimTheWorld here. We are back playing Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. So today we are jumping into our story order. We've got another beat-up SUV. Let's take a look and see what our customer wants. Hello, it's been a while since my last visit, but that only speaks about the quality of your work. My car as well as my wife's car finally run as they should from day one. They are just perfect. So today I'm bringing you my daughter's car, which she just purchased. Even to my untrained eye, this thing is just hopeless. I've always thought that she at least was as sensible as her dad, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Again, they don't give us names. I wish they had some connections to the customers where we got like a face or a name or something to link them to previous episodes. Because it seems like we've done work on the family's cars. It doesn't look like there's a large part list, so there's not too much we'll be doing. We do have to replace all the body parts and change the oil, and I'm sure we're spray painting it white. Let's get to work on the body parts. That seems to be quick and easy. The frame looks in terrible condition. I think both the interior and the frame were at 1%. Since it is a frequent flyer customer, I'm going to hit it with the cleaning and the welding tools so we can get the frame all set and configured. I want to jump in here. It's hard to see what parts. The fuel tank and the fuel pump will need to get replaced. The oil filter looks bad. Go ahead here and try a compression test, see what it says. Something tells me that it's inside the engine we gotta replace. And wouldn't you know it, most of our parts are the crankshaft and pistons. So we will have to pull this engine apart. Luckily, it's just the i4, so it's not a huge deal. I haven't decided, though, if I'm going to do it on the engine stand or just lifting the car up and doing it on the lifter itself. Because for the V8, it's kind of easy to pull it out. We just have to disconnect the gearbox and the drive shaft, and we're smooth sailing from there. Unfortunately, with these i4s, it's a little more difficult because we'll have to take the front tires off, get the drive shaft and the drive axles out. Then we'll have to take off the starter under the hood. It's just a lot of extra work. Maybe I'll just try to do it in the engine bay. I don't know what the right decision for that is, but let's get the body together. We don't have too much work to do on this car, so that is kind of nice. Nice, simple job. But because it's the crankshaft and pistons, we're going to make a buttload of money. That's why I'm alright cleaning out the interior. This is where it'd be cool to like hire some staff to do this. Maybe a local kid to do and take care of the detailing. Something where it's just not $100 to run some cleaning supplies, but we get a little more action out of that. If we're taking apart the engine, we will have to drain the oil, so let's get this lifted up now. We probably should have taken the starter off first, but that's okay. Go ahead and swap this out real quick. This is four-wheel drive, so we will take out the drive axle and the drive shaft. Kind of nifty. You see, this is the type of cars I feel like we haven't done a lot of work on, where there's a lot of different ways to go about and do this, as far as a four-wheel drive having different suspension parts in the rear end because of that. But yeah, we gotta take the... We can probably put the oil filter on. We shouldn't have to remove that. But we need to lower it so we can get the starter off. I'll get the rest of the engine components off too. We shouldn't have to rip it completely apart because we can keep the... Oh, I'm blanking on it. We can keep the engine block in place. All we just have to do is remove the engine head to get to the pistons. Make sure I remember the starter. Sometimes that's easy to forget. Hopefully by doing this we'll get the rest of the parts that we need to find. I'm assuming it's all on the engine, which is... Yeah, look at these wires. Those look pretty crappy. Same with this coil pack, so I'm sure that's what we got to replace. Spark plugs are low percent too, so seems we'll have to take care of all of that. Get the crankshaft pulley out. You can get all the timing components off. Hopefully in the new title of the game, I'd like to see a little more intricacy with the timing specifically. You know, we just slap that timing belt on and it seems all nice and easy. But in reality, lining up the timings, and you know, you could make little mini game or, you know, mini actions out of these that would really build up some of this and make it feel like less than a click and point to swap out parts and a little more interaction. Alright, the engine head is off. We can get to the pistons. I gotta take off the rod caps underneath. That way we can pull those out and we'll be back to work. With the pistons removed, we should be... Oh, I think we gotta take the gearbox off. Then we can take the crankshaft out. That would make sense. Can't have anything hanging off of that. Now we should be able to remove that. And we can get to the assembly. So I'll throw the gearbox back on. We will have to switch to the engine bay to take care of most of the engine first, because I got to throw the pistons in. And of course, if you're building an engine, I'm sure this is completely wrong. The assembly order that we're going, especially since I'm going through all the pistons up top, rebuild the whole engine, and then we'll put in the crankshaft bearing caps and all that good stuff, the rod caps. Yeah, see, the engine is completely torn apart and we're throwing the tires on the car. Seems like we are testing fate, making sure that this is all assembled correctly the first time. I know some of these orders we've not been as lucky, where I missed something and we need to re-tear everything apart. Hopefully this is not one of those orders. Alright, let's drop these pistons in. We got new pistons, new rings. This car should be running like a dream after this. Let's get that starter back on. I always forget the starter on these engines. It's something, it's pretty low there. It kind of blends in with everything else. Oh, you know what? Did we put the oil filter on here? Yeah, we did. Cool. So I wonder if I can't... No, I think we gotta have the oil pan on before I can fill it up with oil. Let's keep cruising through. We've done a lot of these engine builds in past videos. Hopefully you guys are enjoying them. I'm planning on doing a... I don't want to call it a series, but we'll continue with the full restoration series, but focus in on some of the DLC cars, especially some of the newer ones. This game has been out for so long that they've trickled those DLC cars out over the years, and especially the more recent ones, I feel like, you know, by the time the DLC came out in 2020, a lot of people had played the crap out of this game and may not have picked it up. I think the Chrysler DLC was the latest one, so maybe that will be a car we take a look at in the near future. Of course, I don't know how many story orders exactly there are, so that's going to be dictated by when we finish up these story orders. Alright. We got to get the spark plugs in. That's what I'm forgetting. The electronics. New spark plugs. I think we need the new wires too, and the new coil pack. There we go. Now, I think we should be good to go. Everything should be taken care of under the hood. We'll just have to throw some oil in there. Let's get those rod caps on. We'll get the oil pan on. And this is where it's a little weird. I don't know if you should be able to build the whole engine without assembling underneath and securing the crankshaft. I don't even know how the crankshaft is being held in there, except by the tension of the gearbox. Which, that can't be good for that assembly whatsoever. All these little things that they can start addressing, and that's hopefully something we'll see at least an incremental update with the new game. I don't expect them to tackle everything, but maybe a few of these, adding a few features, adding a few more dependencies on parts, could make it more interesting. Just like last episode, I'm YOLOing it, and we're throwing the oil in first. Then we'll take a look if we finished it. Alright. See the car status. It looks like we found all the parts, so that's pretty good. Not a huge list here, which is nice. We repaired all of the body parts because we replaced everything. Oil's taken care of. Now let's go spray paint it white. Just as predicted, factory color is white again. Very strange, very strange. Let's take this out to the garage and we can finish up this episode. This was a fairly quick one. There wasn't a lot to do. It was a lot of engine repair. But let's send it along to the daughter of our return customer. 22 grand. Probably could have bought a new car for that, but we'll take that. Oh, would you look at that? I just got a Steam notification that we got the game over achievement. Oh yeah, no more story orders. So that was the last one. Would you look at that? So maybe we'll be looking at that Chrysler DLC just a little bit sooner than expected. If you guys have any other ideas, cars you want to see in the garage, maybe some modifications to existing ones, let me know down in the comments below. I don't want to stop doing car mechanic videos because it seems like a lot of you guys do enjoy watching those. That seems to be one of the most popular videos that we have been doing. But there's going to be a delay before we get any of the new games. Fingers crossed Motorcycle Mechanic Simulator comes out soon. I'm looking forward to that. But if there's any other games you want to see too, let me know too down in the comments. Otherwise, thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates of future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch, as I'll occasionally stream live. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.